8, 7, 6.
From the Ron Miller Race Car Studio, this is the Hammer Down Racing Report. And now your hosts, Scott Hammer and Ron Miller.
Ron, I didn't have you muted there, so your countdown was kind of going out.
Really?
Yeah. So.
Well, cool.
Welcome, race fans, to the Hammer Down Racing Report, live from the virtual Ron Miller Race Car Studio. This is your show for July 30th, show number 141. I'm your host, Scott Hammer. That's Ron Miller over there.
That's me right here. Hello.
And we got a interesting show for you tonight. First up, we're going to be talking to Bret Holmes, fresh off his ARCA win at Kansas last weekend. He's going to be in the Twin 200s at Toledo Speedway this weekend. And Cory McCaughey standing by with his dirt truck out in Ron's front yard, I believe. And we're going to do a little virtual inspection of his dirt truck coming up a little bit later. So an interesting program for you tonight. Coming at you live on Facebook. You can listen to us on iHeartRadio. If you are listening to us on iHeartRadio, tonight's show may be more of a visual thing, so you may want to find the Facebook Live broadcast on our Facebook page. While you're there, make sure to like us. We appreciate that. Also follow us on Twitter at Hammer Report. Thanks to Ron Miller Race Cars, Big D's Pizza. We could probably get that going there. There's a lot going on here. Oakshade Raceway, where the fastest meet the race. Steve Kester Mowing. Steve, call Charlie Crawl. He's trying to get you to do some landscaping, by the way. Millstream Speedway, got the latest on them. I was down at Millstream Speedway last weekend, and I got some video of that. We'll talk about that in a little bit. Freeze frame photos for all your racetrack photo needs, and Continental Service Auto Repair and Adrian, sponsors of the Hammer Down Racing Report. Without further ado, since we have so much to get to this evening, how about we pull in Bret Holmes here? Sound good to you, Ron?
Great with me. Anybody that can beat that pesky Gibbs kid has got to be good in my book.
Pesky Gibbs kid. Bret, how are you?
Oh, now what do you do, Scott?
Can you hear us, Bret? Did we lose you again?
Hey, man, good. How are you? Yeah, I can hear you.
I think he froze up.
Hey, are you there, Bret?
Hello, Bret.
I think we can hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we got you.
Yeah, I was talking a second ago. Sorry about that. I'm good. How are you?
Good. Where are you at right now? You down in Alabama? Or are you up in Toledo? Where are you?
I'm in Alabama right now. I had to work today, but we're heading to Toledo tomorrow morning.
Okay. How important was it for you to get that first win, that first ARCA win, I should say, under your belt last weekend at Kansas?
I mean, very, man. That's that's the whole reason we go, is to strive and work towards that. And it's just it was just a huge relief to finally get that out of the way. It's been a long time since we've been in victory lane, and a few years really it's taken to build up our ARCA team to get to this level. And it's just really cool to be able to race at these tracks that we go to, and just to be involved in this series. And I'm just really grateful that we've built the team up to this point. It's been a really cool journey.
Now, you finished third in the ARCA Menards East Series race earlier. What was that? In last month, I guess it was, in June at Toledo Speedway. Is there anything you can take from that, any knowledge you can take from that and apply it to this weekend?
Yeah, definitely. I think I'm really glad we went to that race. I think there's a few of those guys who missed out on that race that are going to be running this weekend, so I think we'll have a head start. We with the limited practice we've been getting with everything going on, any on-track time is really, really valuable, and knowing how it's going to change throughout the day. So I think our setup has gotten really close. Our short track stuff has been pretty good this year. We built a new short track car over through the pandemic break, and I feel good about it. We finished third there in the ARCA East race, so I definitely think we got a good shot at the win this weekend.
Now,
tell us a little bit about your team. You talked about you building a car. Is it a family-owned deal, or fill us in a little bit?
Oh, I don't think he can hear you. You couldn't hear what Ron asked it.
That's
I couldn't hear what he said.
because you muted me.
I don't hear you, I guess.
All right, you're not muted, Ron. He asked, fill us in on your team. Is it family owned, put together? I mean, tell us a little bit about your team.
Yes, sir. My dad and I own the team. There's we've got 5 guys back at the shop in Mooresville, North Carolina. Um, it's a really small shop, really small program, really, and it's nothing like these other guys are with
Uh-oh.
Venturini and Joe Gibbs Racing and DGR. They've got multi carters, and that's something a lot of something we don't have. So it's really cool, and we take a lot of value into the people we have than the resources we have at our shop. So I think that's more valuable than anything, and that's why we're doing pretty good lately.
So how huge would it be for you to come out of this weekend's Twin 200s at Toledo with the point lead? I guess you're 9 points out behind Michael Self coming into this weekend.
Man, it would. I'm just looking for some solid finishes, and I think we need to make up a lot as far as points go. We're only 9 behind right now, so we're not that far away, but we keep up like we're doing, and we've been finishing in front of him ever since the break has been going on. So the past few races we have, so I think we're a little ahead of those guys right now, but we just need to keep that momentum up, and I think we'll take the lead here in the points very soon.
Now you're a building sciences major at Auburn University. Is this? I guess you're going to graduate in December, from what I read. Is that degree just in case the racing thing doesn't work out?
Well, yeah. I mean, I love doing both. I love working in the construction business, and I love racing too. But that's not just one thing you can bank on entirely to do for the rest of your career. So I knew I could do both at the same time. It's been very challenging, but I've just managed my time very well, and kind of taken out a lot of the things that I think a lot of get to enjoy. It's tough, mentally, but I like being busy like that, and it's like I said, it's been really tough, really stressful at times with school and racing going on at the same time. But I'm almost done, luckily, so I get one of those out of the way, and I can focus a lot more on racing.
Now, what is your long-term goal? I mean, you want to get up in the NASCAR? I mean, top level there. I meuld what's your long-term racing goals?
Well, it's always been my dream to make it in one of the top 3 tiers in NASCAR, and I could definitely see us, moving into the Truck Series one day, I think we're definitely capable of that, and I think I have the potential to, as a driver, to be able to do that. But right now, I mean, I don't want to be a one-hit wonder. I don't want Kansas to be my only ARCA win. I want wins and possibly a championship, and I think we have that standard before we move up. And I feel like a lot of drivers, lack that standard. They don't, uphold that, and they kind of move up without, proving themselves or accomplishing anything. And so we also take a lot of pride in that. And I like I said, I want to be a little bit more successful before I move up.
All right. Well,
Scott, ask him if he's going to be following just the Menards Series, or if he's going to be hitting some East and West shows.
Well, he already hit the East, one of the East. Are you going to be Ron asked if you're going to be hitting any more the ARCA Menards East and West Series shows, or are you just sticking on the main series?
Mainly just keeping our first priority, the main series. It kind of logistically depends on where we're at, like as far as being busy goes in our shop. It's really tough for us to, I would love to do all those races. I could see us doing the West race at Phoenix in November, since that's kind of past the main series schedule. So there's 1 or 2 races in the East schedule that look and kind of enticing to run, but our first priority is that main series, and I think that's the one that definitely means more.
No, I saw that you used to race a dirt late model. Ron here in the middle, he's a dirt late model racer. Do you have a preference, the dirt or the pavement? Or I know you're on the pavement now, and you probably, you're going for that championship, so you kind of like that. But I mean, do you have an affinity for the dirt, like Kyle Larson, Christopher Bell, all these guys that have gone up to the top and have gone back to the dirt?
Yeah, I mean, I actually run about one race a year, just one race a year right now to go play around in my dirt late model. We've still got one in our shop here at home. I think my driving style suits asphalt a lot better than it does dirt, but I like the environment a lot more in dirt racing. It's just a lot more laid back and, a lot more grassroots, I think, than, what typically in the asphalt world, I feel like a lot of people treat that like a business and don't, treat it like a sport and having fun and as much these days as they used to. But like I said, I think the dirt stuff, I do miss it in that way, the environment of it, and kind of what that how that weekend goes. But the asphalt stuff, I think I definitely my driving style definitely acclimates to that a lot more.
Okay. Well, we have this weekend Toledo Speedway. You got Friday and Saturday night. No fans, unfortunately, no spectators. Anything special doing to prepare for this weekend?
Really just studying our notes from the last race and watching video is the main thing. Toledo is a pretty line sensitive racetrack, and it definitely takes you a few laps to get kind of acclimated back to the track. And I think the biggest thing, and I think that's why we did so well at Kansas, was coming prepared, knowing what the environment, the weather was going to be like from what it typically is when we race there, and reviewing our notes from the year prior and making changes to help better our car. And I think that's why we dominated that race. Really, is I think we just came a lot more prepared than those other teams, and our balance was a lot closer.
Are there other drivers you're kind of keeping an eye on for this weekend? I know Ty Gibbs has been winning quite a bit. Anybody else that you're worried about, or maybe somebody you're looking at that maybe I got to stay away from that person? Uh-oh.
Thank you. No.
Like the Toledo East team, they finished right in front of me, and those are the guys I'd be having my eye on. They're the ones to outrun.
Okay, I think we missed most of your answer there. We kind of lost you for a second. What was it again?
Sorry about that. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I think the 18 and the 21, those are the main guys we're kind of looking at. I mean, they outran us at Iowa, and the same at the Toledo East race. So, I think we're all pretty close to each other as far as their setups go and time goes. But those are the guys that are tough to beat at those shorter tracks, and those will be the ones I'd have my eye on.
All right, sounds good. Well, we have a thing here at the Hammer Down Racing Report. A lot of times, I'd say maybe 85-90% of the time, our guests we have on the show will go on and win their next race. So make us proud tomorrow night, all right? And all Saturday, right, for that matter.
Yeah, I'll
it could be a twofer, Scott.
Ron says it can be a twofer. We'll see you out there, man. Good luck this weekend.
Hey, thank you. I appreciate you having me on.
All right, see ya. Bret Holmes there, fresh off his win at Kansas Speedway there, getting his first ARCA win, as a matter of fact, and now going for maybe 3 after this weekend.
We can only hope.
Yes. Now we have Cory McCaughey standing by in your front yard, I believe, right? Is that where he's at?
Yes, he is.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we'll get to him.
Right outside my window.
Oh, he wrote something on his mask there. Oh, he's making a political statement on his mask.
Which is just fine.
I have him muted, so I can't hear if he's saying anything. But we can see it. Well, I can see it. You're not on yet, though. Before we get to that, or we get to Cory and our virtual truck inspection, I want to go through our sponsors again real quick because I kind of blew through them. And we also have some breaking news, as a matter of fact. How about we do the breaking news first, because this happened just before we came on.
We could probably repeat that towards the end of the show.
The breaking news?
Yeah.
There it is. Breaking news. Press release from, actually it was a post.
At Attica Raceway Park.
Yeah, no spectators tomorrow at Attica Raceway Park. we'll have more details on that coming up a little bit later. They are still racing. The program that they had originally scheduled, the Attica Fremont Championship Series 410 sprints and 305s and late models, still happening, but only pit passes.
Scott, according to Dwayne Hancock, and I don't know if you've been watching,
I have not.
They have lowered the pit pass fee to $25 to make it a little more affordable, and there are no limits on pit pass sales.
All right, then.
That from Dwayne Hancock.
And he would know.
I believe he would.
Again, thanks to Ron Miller Race Cars. Give them a call, 734-856-7223. Race Cars, parts, safety equipment, everything you need. Big D's Pizza in Clyde. Mention the Hammer Down Racing Report. Save 10% off any order. Thanks to Oakshade Raceway. We're the fastest meet to race every Saturday night. And I did check in with Chrissy, speaking of Oakshade, to see if they had any updates from the health department. And as of a couple hours ago, they had not. So no change in the program at Oakshade for Saturday as of right now. Things are changing by the hour, though. So just kind of keep an eye on their social media or websites.
Yes, I know Dwayne Hancock's watching. Dwayne, do you know if the news from Attica was because of the Governor DeWine announcement, or was that per the health department? And if you just fill
Or
us
both.
in. Yeah, well, all of the above.
Give Kester Mowing a call for all your lawn and landscaping needs, mowing, seeding, fertilizing, insect, weed control, and more. 419-466-3801. Tell them Hammer Down Racing Report sent you. Mentioned Millstream Speedway, that I was out there on Sunday to do a little practice out there. And I told Scott I'd play some video from that. I was going slow at first, so we'll go to the fast part. So you can kind of see what the track looks like. It's very exciting.
Oh, yeah.
It was a little dusty, but
And it just sits. Oh,
what's that, Ron?
it was just sitting there spinning. I was hoping that wasn't you that was spinning.
Oh, no. Now I can't make it go faster. Anyways, track is pretty smooth, as a matter of fact. Let me take this off here. Let's do that. Track's pretty smooth, a little dusty. They're working on water truck, a little bit of weeds on the track, but they were waiting until I was done.
You took care of the weeds, right?
I took care of some of the weeds right there in the middle. Well, there wasn't too many right there in the middle. They've had some test and tunes going on. But, I mean, as you can see, it still looks like Millstream. No walls are falling down. It's still, I guess they got a little bit of track surface work to do. But other than that, they're just kind of waiting on all of the restrictions and all this COVID stuff to go away, really, so that they can open up there. And they were waiting until I was done kicking up all the dust to do some painting on the pit tower. So they are actively working out there. So make sure to follow Millstream Speedway on Twitter, Facebook, millstreamspeedway.net, their website. Also, Freeze Frame Photos. We mentioned them earlier tonight for all your racetrack photo needs. I actually have some right here that I purchased. They come in this nice little plastic baggie. You can get it out the track when they're out there. You can also give them a call, 419-476-9978. They do photo shoots and whatever. They'll do whatever you want, really. And also Continental Service Auto Repair in Adrian, Michigan, 517-263-8573. Support our sponsors.
Really good people.
Because they support us. And we like that.
I've known them a long time. They're truly good people. Really.
Should we bring in Cory? And this could be a total train wreck. I'm not really sure how this is going to work out. We had some issues getting connected before we came on. But it'll be fun. And again, if you're listening to us on iHeartRadio, not our live broadcast, you might want to go check out the video of this because there's going to be quite a video component. And you can see the political statement that Cory McCaughey is making as well with his face mask.
I see that the grandstand's just cleared out, so I've got to believe that Cory's ready for us.
Grandstands. What, you can see him out your window?
Yes, sir.
Oh, okay.
I mean, it's right outside the window.
All right, what we're doing is a virtual car inspection, truck inspection, I guess. And before we get to that, I kind of want to talk to Cory a bit. So let's bring him in here because he's been having quite a year, as a matter of fact, out there at Fremont Speedway. Picked up. Wait, I gotta unmute him now. Now we can hear him. Can you hear us, Cory?
Hello.
All right. So congratulations, first off, picking up your very first win, which I found hard to believe. I was like, really? He hasn't won? And then to top that off, you've gotten 2 wins now. So congratulations on that.
And a very good very good second place.
Yeah, that was our first win at Fremont. We had won back in 16 over at Attica.
Okay.
But that
First
was just
three.
we got a bunch of them on asphalt and other things. So
Yeah, and I know how you feel about the asphalt stuff. You're very subdued about that.
I enjoy asphalt. I really dislike the sanctioning bodies around my hometown.
Got it.
It's not a whole lot to do with the surface, more along the lines of the individuals in charge.
Fair enough. Okay. So what's different about this year? Getting your first couple wins at Fremont Speedway.
Honestly, the biggest thing is the stress not being there as much, because if you're an owner-operator situation, you consider a lot of things, just like rolling off the truck or off the trailer. Every single thing on that thing costs you money. So to have that stress not on you anymore, it allows you to be a little more free with what you do on the track. So I think that's the biggest part. Mark's, I can't say enough about Mark. He's very, he's just good at what he does. So he's obviously better at setting these things up than me. So we're just.
Hey, Cory.
Yeah.
Your fan club says lose the mask. They can't hear you.
Everybody should lose the mask. But yeah, Mark's very good at what he does. So it's like everything that I'm a little bit weak at or a lot weak at, and vice versa with Mark, seems to just kind of gel together. So all of my strengths are his weaknesses, and it seems like all of his weaknesses are my strengths. So yeah, we've only raced this thing 5 times on dirt and been really competitive. So we're really looking forward to things to come.
So how did you and Mark get together then on this deal?
So I seen this truck being built in Ron's shop a few years back, piece by piece over the course of a year and a half, 2 years, something like that. And we've had conversations over the years in regards to certain things. And back in late 18, a very good friend of mine was terminally ill, and he really enjoys going out to the hangover race. And we were fast all day. We're the fastest on the track, and we go pushing off to the feature, and I make 2 laps, and the ignition quits. And we try like hell to get back out there, and it just doesn't work out. And I see Ron go down there and talk to Mark. And the next thing I know, Mark's coming down saying, "Hey, if you want to drive my late model in the feature tonight, you're more than welcome to." And it struck me as odd at first, but it showed me then the kind of people that are around me. Like they understood the situation. I got a near and dear friend that's in a wheelchair that's probably not going to see the next hangover race, a race that he enjoys. And he's only there to watch us go in circles. And he allowed that to happen. And over the course of that race, we finished 3rd. I didn't put a scratch on the late model at that time, although I couldn't reach any of the pedals because Mark's 6'14" and I'm 5'8". So I was actually throttling that car off of the pullback bar on the top of the throttle pedal just to. Fortunately, I could reach the brake. So yeah, so it started there, and then last year, Mark asked if I wanted to race the dirt truck at the hangover race, Absolutely. So we went out there and finished second to Dittman. Didn't put a scratch on it. Had a good night. Wish I would have known that the tire wear would have been a little better, as it was, because I would have pushed it a lot harder. And during the Rona stuff, I got a phone call one day, and Mark said, "Hey, you wanna drive my truck?" Absolutely, yes, I do. Yes. Yeah, I want to drive the truck. You got really good equipment, and you're not afraid to, go fast. So that started there. So I mean, we still have a 36M. It's sitting on jack stands right now. We're currently making it a, I wouldn't say Twinkie, but a very close sister to the 911, because this thing's a bad machine. So I don't want to make another bad machine.
Let's go back to Fremont. Your second feature win. I understand that there were some tech officials around and kind of went over the truck, and that's pretty much what led us to where we're at today. Everybody was absolutely certain that there were things that were not right with the truck, and we suggested to you that we try this pilot project, do a virtual tech inspection, and show people what you've got, and that it is absolutely legal, and that it's a combination of a pretty darn good truck and a very good driver.
I appreciate your kind words, but the truck is way better than the driver, I assure you. But yeah, it was a little weird in tech, because they had never done tech like that there before, at least since I've been there. And there was some people putting noses and stuff in where they shouldn't have been. So, it turned into a proverbial show of sorts. So we got through tech that night. Everything was good. There was nothing illegal on my truck, Sean's truck. The AKB was a little questionable because he went to his trailer first for about 10 minutes before he showed up to tech, but somehow that made it through afterwards. But I've learned over the years that if you're doing good, you got to be cheating, because if you're out there beating people that are cheating, then therefore you are cheating. So it's what it is. You can't make everybody happy, and
So what was it that they were looking at on your truck, and maybe you can show us?
All right, let's move it around. Here. So you got a wheel right there.
I've seen those before.
Yeah, there's a few of them. There's at least 4 on this truck. They were measuring wheel widths to make sure that wheel width was actually an 8-inch wheel. They had a tool that they used that went around it. They also measured track width, and that would be between, this is backwards,
the outside
left
of
rear
the
tire and the right rear tire to make sure that it was at 74-inch. We were at 73 3/4. They also wanted to check and make sure that we weren't on bird cages on both sides. So we got a bird cage over there, and we're locked down over there. They also checked the front width as the same way to be 74-inch. Made sure that it was a 2-barrel carburetor, and that it was iron head, iron block engine. Those are like the typical things of most dirt trucks, I guess.
Okay. What else we want to look at, Ron? You're the tech inspector. What do we need to look at?
Cory, is that a shock absorber with that coilover, or is that a what is that?
So
on the lift bar?
That in there is what is called a coilover eliminator. Basically, it's a dead shock that you can put a coil spring on, and then in front of that is the actual shock. That.
Uh-oh. I think we lost him.
What do you do, Cory? Do I have to open the window and yell at him?
Maybe. Hopefully his phone didn't die there. That was pretty interesting, though, looking at his truck. You going to go yell at him?
I am. All I got to do is open the window.
Okay. Does he still think he's on? Welcome to live programming. And this is why I said this could be a train wreck, because apparently this is what's going on.
He's on his way into the studio, and
Okay.
we'll be sharing this camera.
Oh, his phone die?
Well, I don't know. We're about to find out.
Okay. Well, make sure you social distance and you have him wear his mask or not.
Oh,
Cory's back. And there's the alarm. Let's switch to this view.
all right, guys. All right. So what happened out there with the technology, Cory?
I have fat fingers.
I see. So you just needed to log back in.
I don't know. I tried logging in. It didn't.
Okay. You got to love this technology. Well, that was kind of cool getting to look at the truck. Was there anything else that, that people were calling into question?
There was. I might have used the bumper a little bit. I didn't mean to intend on what happened, but
That's not really an inspection thing, though.
Oh, you meant in regards to inspection?
Yeah.
No, it was all good. I mean, it's the typical dirt truck stuff: iron head, iron block, Burt Trance, 9-inch lift bar. Typical. You know, they were a little. Excuse me. They were just checking over stuff and making sure everything was as it's supposed to be.
It's got steel front and rear bumpers, which may be an advantage sometimes.
Steel body. You know, they went around with a magnet, checked every panel, make sure it wasn't a fiberglass body, and
Car owner Mark Kackenmeister likes things that look pretty. So when the truck was built, we paid a lot of attention to making it nice, but we made it like a late model where the body panels bolt on and bolt off. So that was something really different for the dirt trucks, and they took a close look at it. Because Mark likes the truck so pretty, everybody was absolutely convinced that it was a fiberglass body and not legal. And that led early on in the season to the tech inspectors taking a magnet to the truck.
So have they found anything else with any of the other trucks? Any issues with any other trucks at Fremont not legal?
Not this season, no.
Not this season.
No. I mean, they found me with a 4-barrel a couple of seasons ago, but they found a guy with a Caltrac system on the rear end, and they find, obvious things. So, just obviously you don't need to. You just need to put all the pieces in the right spots, in the right pieces, and you can make something go really fast.
And so that's what you and Mark have together. You got all the pieces in the right spots, and the right driver in the seat.
I'm just a lucky guy that gets to hold the steering wheel. Man, that thing, it's so different than my truck, which was twitchy, and you roll the throttle and sometimes it just doesn't grab like it did the lap before, or you try to climb on a high side and it doesn't respond well, it doesn't grab, it doesn't roll, the weight doesn't move. This truck is just, I don't know what, why, or when, but we'll get there at that 36M eventually.
Now, have you driven for anyone else before, or have you always driven for yourself?
I drove for a season back at that place behind Meyer on the little track for Derek Halka in the 09, and then later on in the season, the seat in the 0 late model sportsman car opened up, and we were doing really well. But as the political process goes with Toledo Speedway or place behind Meyer, they did some things that most would not agree with, and we just had a really bad time over there. So that especially the last race wasn't. I don't think that things were handled correctly by all parties, including myself. So I give them the one finger wave whenever I drive by.
Okay, well, I like how that question went for driving for other people to the one finger wave. It was
Well,
a
wait a
nice
minute.
it was a
He
nice way to
did-
get there. I like
Yeah,
no,
he-
it was the right answer. I mean, he answered
He
the
did
question.
drive the 35 car at Sandusky one
did.
year too.
Oh, did you?
I drove for him and I exploded his motor. So that,
Really?
yeah.
So you didn't let him drive anymore, Ron?
There's not enough motors laying around here, apparently.
So has there been any talk between you and Mark for driving the 911 next year, or you haven't looked that far ahead yet?
We're just gonna focus on next week, and we'll go from there. You know,
How about
we were really sad about Attica. Like, I'm decent. I feel like I'm better at Attica, even though I love Fremont more. I feel like I'm better there. So to have the power and handling underneath me there, I think that would have been exciting. So with the news of Attica scaling back a bit, I'm hoping that we can get to middle August before all this comes to an end, because we got rained out on the one show that we were scheduled there. So I'm really hoping that we can at least give it a good attempt.
How many more truck events do they have scheduled out at Attica this year? Assuming we've run the full schedule.
I believe there's 2.
Okay.
I could be wrong.
So you got 2 more shots then. Now, who's your biggest competition?
Sean Valente.
That's with a V, right?
Yeah, big OV for victory.
He wins a lot.
Yeah.
In a lot of different things too. We've had him on the show before.
Yeah, that guy's you better be perfect, because he's going to be perfect every week. I mean, you know, even whenever he steps off the cushion a little bit, like he finds it somehow. It's just like, that guy makes me better, you know.
No, 2 weeks ago, you won. Last week you ran second to him. I understand that after the race, you guys had a pretty cordial talk.
Last week.
Yeah.
Sean, man, that guy, as good as he is behind the wheel, he's just as classy in person. Like, even with the stuff that happened over the week before, like, he was super complimentary over the loudspeaker, and just, you know, he come rolling through after winning, and I was standing out in the main drag there, and he stopped, shut off the motor. We had a few-minute conversation about things, and, you know, he knows we're coming. He knows that we're there, you know, but he's still going to be Sean Valente. So it's, you know, it's exciting, because I haven't felt like this in a long time behind the wheel of anything. So I'm really excited to go back. I just want to just keep racing.
Have you ever given Sean the one finger wave?
I don't think so.
Maybe.
But actually, you know what? I've probably given everybody the one finger wave. Everybody that knows me, like I wasn't even sure how this interview was going to go, because I didn't even know what I was going to say. So
that makes 2 of us.
Yeah, it's kind of funny like that. So yeah, I'm sure I have, but, you know, I don't mean anything by it. You just kind of, next week's next week, and that's just what it is. But no, he's never done me like super dirty or anything. But you don't race around people for 8 years and not bang a fender every now and again. So, you know, it just doesn't work that way.
So you got anything for him on Saturday?
I got everything for him.
Okay.
Lots of right foot, and stay off that left foot. And you know, it's nice, because we won on a medium heavy track, and then we won on a slick track as well. So that was, slick's always been like my nemesis. I could never grab it, and it's just nice to be like, to know that maybe it wasn't me. Maybe I should never be a crew chief again. So yeah, they fired me from that like week 2. Just shut up and drive. That's all I hear. Just shut up. You're not allowed to do anything. Just shut up and drive. You're just the driver. We're gonna handle the rest. So I got really good guys around me that support and are are apparently a lot smarter than me, even though I hate to admit it. That everybody's got their job, man, and that I feel like I got the best people in the business back there that work for beer.
I'm pretty sure everybody's smarter than me. Just saying.
I bet you could have figured out my phone.
I don't know about that. I'm still working on this whole thing. So,
yeah.
Well, anyways, keep our streak going. You know, we told Bret this earlier that he's got to pick up a couple wins this weekend and at the track that you're so fond of, that's behind Meyer. And so you got to do it at Fremont on Saturday.
Yeah, I really hope we're gonna at least give him a good shot. You know,
You mean you don't go out there and try to lose?
No.
Okay.
No. Well, I have. I've lost a lot, but
not on purpose, though.
No. I mean, there was a one time over at that other place where you're running figure 8 boat races and stuff. You really try to lose. You try to put on the best show you can. Like that's a lot of fun. So, yeah.
Do those actually pay anything to win?
They pay a lot more than the regular racing. Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. But we made it out of there with about $550 one night whenever they were paying like $175 or something to win the A main for their street stock division or whatever it was at the time. And you go out there and you smash trash cans and boats and figure 8s and just plywood, whatever the stuff they were doing that day. Just get in every event and go out there and try to earn trophies, I guess.
All right. Well, good luck this weekend. Ron, how about we start talking about some stuff that happened this past weekend and get to some racing news here?
Sounds good, man.
So Sandusky Speedway had a big weekend last week. Do you have any problems with Sandusky Speedway, Cory? Do you like Sandusky?
I like Sandusky. They've treated me well. So
okay. And you do pretty well there on the hangover race days. Or even how did you do that night? What was it? A couple years ago, they had the trucks as part of that weekend.
With the cavalcade.
Yeah,
that's what it was. Yeah.
Yeah, that was actually a pretty cool deal. They sent us out whenever it was raining, and they're big, they're not super mounts, but they're big modifieds wouldn't go out. They were complaining about a little rain on the track. They said, "Hey, truck guys, you want to go?" And everybody just said, "F yeah!" And
send us, boss. Send us. Send us.
And we all went out there and 20 laps with no caution. And of course, I finished second.
Well, that was before you had the 911 truck, though, right?
Yeah. But I mean, we were fast all day, and lap times were very comparable to each other. And just that guy can just turn it up like at the right time every time, and it's just.
Apparently, he's found that out about you, though.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, so that does go back. Yeah, I gave him the middle finger. It was just behind his back, and it was on his bumper a bunch of times. Yeah, that's the turning it up. Is that so? Yeah.
All right. Well, cool. Thanks again, Cory, and thank you for bringing your truck and giving us a little bit of a look underneath the things and seeing what's there.
Yeah, sorry, I fat fingered my phone. Big thanks to you guys and Mark especially, and Ron Miller Race Cars, DAS, KC Engineering, and DDH Farms. Like you guys know what you do, but you don't know what it means to all of us. So we appreciate all the exposure that we get and everything that we're allowed to do. So
very good.
As long as the wine lets us do it.
Good job getting the sponsors in there. Very important.
Yeah, man, got to do that stuff.
Absolutely.
Thanks, Cory.
Yeah, man. I'll see you.
Cory McCaughey there, 2-time winner at Fremont Speedway, and his truck's right out front of Ron's place. So if you're driving by, honk. Here, we're gonna. All I see is white.
No.
Oh, yeah. And your alarm's going off.
Yeah, they don't like people to leave.
No. So a lot of racing this past weekend. I started talking about Sandusky Speedway. They had the High Miler weekend that went Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and quite a big weekend out there. Thursday, I believe that was Dollar Night, the customer fan appreciation night, something like that. Justin Stanley won the Renegade feature that night. Johnny Newman was the pure stock winner, and Jaden McCall won the beginner stock feature. On Friday, David Schulich Jr. won the ISMA. I almost said ISMA. ISMA Super Modified Fast 40 over Tom Jadzik. Hope I pronounced that right. Chris will correct me if I'm wrong. And Mike Ordway Jr. Matt Marlowe won the modified feature. And then on Saturday night, the final night of the 43rd Annual High Miler Nationals, Mike Ordway Jr. was the winner. He won over Jeff Abold and Tim Jadzijak. We're going with that. That was a 100-lap feature on Saturday in the ISMA Super Modified feature. Jason Wells was the winner for the modifieds. Attica Raceway Park and Buddy Kofoid back in action and picked up his, I found this hard to believe, it was just his first 410 sprint win at Attica Raceway Park Friday night. Led all 30 laps. I was surprised.
First win this year or first win ever?
I don't know if I think it was first career win at Attica.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So Buddy Kofoid getting it done there. Been running midgets, jumped in the 410. Picked up that Attica Fremont Championship Series feature win. On Friday, Devin Shields led all 25 laps to win the Attica Oakshade Late Model Challenge Series feature event and took the point lead, I believe, for that series on Friday night. Kyle Capodice beat Paul Weaver to win the 305 feature. Paul Weaver's been on fire recently.
He's been hot. Jeez.
Yeah. So to beat him, that's saying something. Chris Keller came out on top at Oakshade Raceway on Saturday night to win the final Attica Oakshade Late Model Challenge Series event. They did have one rain out at Attica. That's not going to be made up. So Saturday night was the final Attica Oakshade Late Model Challenge Series event. Devin Shields finished second, and that was good enough for him to win the series championship. I believe that's at least the second one of the Oakshade Attica Late Model Challenge Series that he's won. Brandon Gregory continues dominance in the sportsman class at Oakshade. He picked up his fourth consecutive feature win. Adam Noonan scored his first Bomber A-Main win of the year. Aaron Van Pelt won the compact feature. Roscoe Stetton was at the right place at the right time. The Bomber B-Main. Did you see the Bomber B-Main finish, Brian?
I did. That was a pretty entertaining race.
It was. That was. I mean, that's everybody leaves after the maybe the late models, maybe the sportsmen. A lot of people leave, not everybody. But the most exciting finish of the night, the last race of the night, the Bomber B-Main. Chris Blykamp was leading. Derek Roseman right there in second. Roscoe Stetton right there in third. Roseman and Blykamp had some contact in the final corner. Checkered flag in sight. Stetton dives down to the inside. His first night out, actually, racing this season, and picks up the checkered flag. So congratulations to Roscoe Stetton. I think the last time he was out, he was pointed nose up and off of turn 3.
Yeah, he was up with the trees.
Yeah. So, yeah. Cool move there. Fremont Speedway on Saturday night. Buddy Kofoid picked up another win, made it a clean sweep on the Attica Fremont Championship Series action. And Christopher Bell was closing, but ended up finishing second at Fremont on Saturday.
That had to be a shock for him.
For Christopher Bell? Or for Buddy? Okay.
For Christopher Bell.
In 305 action, Alvin Repke took advantage of Paul Weaver's bad luck. Weaver jumped the cushion to avoid a spinning lapper and ended up coming to a stop. Repke inherited the lead, went on to win, and Sean Valeni beat Corey in the dirt truck feature there. World of Outlaws were in action. Sheldon Haudenschild got his first checkered flag of the season at Lincoln Speedway's Gettysburg Clash last Thursday, a week ago tonight. Shane Stewart led all 25 laps to win Friday at Williams Grove. Saturday, David Gravel came out on top at Williams Grove to win $20,000 there. Sounds like Gravel's looking for a NASCAR ride, too, from what I've been seeing. So
he could be exciting in the trucks.
Yeah. Next up for the World of Outlaws was originally going to be tomorrow night at Attica Raceway. There's been a lot of changes for tomorrow night's show at Attica. Again, we'll get to the details of the changes for tomorrow night's show at Attica. No World of Outlaws at Attica tomorrow. That was announced earlier. The World of Outlaws, though, will be at Wayne County Speedway on Saturday and then at Plymouth Speedway in Indiana on Sunday. The World of Outlaw Morton Buildings Late Model Series. Brandon Shepard earned his 11th win of the season Tuesday at Davenport in Iowa. Next up for the late models is the Hoosier Dirt Shootout at Kokomo Speedway in Indiana on Friday and Saturday. It's tomorrow and Saturday. That's 31st and 1st. Yeah. Jimmy Owens won the Optima Batteries Dirt Track Bank Go 50 at I-80 Speedway in Lucas Oil Late Model Series action last Thursday. Brandon Shepard won Saturday's Imperial Tie Silver Dollar Nationals main event at I-80, earning the $53,000 prize to go along with that. That's a lot of money. Next up for the
that's a good night's work.
Yeah. That's a good year's work for me. Next up is Florence Speedway for the North-South 100 weekend. That's actually coming up August 12th through the 15th. So you got a little bit of time before the next Lucas Oil Late Model Series event. ARCA Menards Series, we talked to Bret Holmes earlier tonight. He finally got to victory lane on Friday night at Kansas Speedway. It was his first ARCA Menards Series victory. As we mentioned, coming up this weekend, the Menards 200 Friday night. I'm sorry, it's the Menards.com 200 tomorrow night, Friday night at Toledo Speedway, and then just Menards 200 Saturday at Toledo Speedway. It's the Twin 200s. I'm probably going to go there to the Friday night show. Talk to Charlie about that. Yeah, I don't know. You want to come? You busy tomorrow? All right. Well, I'll talk to Charlie tomorrow. Maybe we'll cover the Friday night action.
We'll see what the shop does tomorrow afternoon.
All right, sounds good. Again, no spectators there. We're not spectators. We are essential personnel.
Media.
Yeah, that too. Denny Hamlin took 4 tires in a late caution, which helped him win Thursday night, a week ago, at Kansas in the Superstar Batteries 400. Brandon Jones made a last lap pass in overtime to win Saturday's Xfinity race. Austin Hill won Friday's truck race at Kansas. Matt Crafton snapped a 67-race winless streak by winning Saturday afternoon at Kansas. The trucks had a doubleheader there.
Yay.
I didn't realize it had been 67 wins. There are 67 races since his last win. That's a long winless streak. Next up for NASCAR, the Cup Series will be at New Hampshire Motor Speedway for the Foxwood Resort Casino 301 on Sunday, 3 o'clock on NBCSN and Buckeye Country 103.7 WCKY. The Xfinity Series is off until Road America on Saturday, August 8th, and the trucks are off until Michigan International Speedway on Friday, August 7th. Summer Nationals update for the UMP Dirt Car Summer National Late Model Series. Winners of this past week, Frank Heckeness Jr. Thursday at Springfield Raceway. Brian Shirley won at Lake Ozark Speedway on Friday. This is last week. Shirley again Saturday at Clarksville Speedway. Sunday was Dennis Erb Jr. at Clarksville. Brian Shirley again won at LaSalle. That was last night, wasn't it?
Yep.
Yeah, because I was watching that before things kind of froze up. I put Thursday, but no, that was last night. Next up for those guys was actually supposed to be Peoria tonight, but and that was the makeup of the makeup of the makeup because they got part of a show in. They're still trying to finish that, but that has been postponed again due to rain. Right. So they're going to try and make that up again. No date has been announced as far as the makeup on that yet. So they're getting there. I guess they got a break, though. The next race isn't until August 10th. So unless they schedule something before then, the UMP Summer Nationals taking a break till August 10th. This weekend's ARCA Menards Series Sioux Chief Showdown doubleheader at Toledo Speedway will be broadcast nationally live on MAV TV, and actually they're going to be broadcast locally on Buckeye Cable System. I guess they're called Buckeye. What are they now? They're Buckeye something. It's not Buckeye
BCSN
Cable
anymore.
It is BCSN, but I mean their cable thing. They're Buckeye Telesystem. I don't know. They keep changing the name. But anyway, it's going to be on BCSN, the Buckeye Sports channel there. Is going to have that on nationally. So if you don't have MAV TV, but you do have Buckeye and you get BCSN, you can watch live the Toledo Speedway ARCA races. Maurice Petty passed away this past weekend. NASCAR chairman and CEO Jim France described him as, quote, was one of the most talented mechanics in NASCAR history. More talented than you, Ron?
level the playing field. We'll see.
Bob Bear, I think is it Bar or Bear?
Bear.
Founder of New Hampshire Motor Speedway and former owner of Oxford Plains Speedway, has passed away at the age of 93. Bear broke to motorsports by owning a midget racing team in the 50s and 60s. In 64, he became a track owner, acquiring Oxford Plains Speedway in Oxford, Maine. After selling Oxford in 87, Bear turned his attention building a new racing facility in New Hampshire. He would go on to acquire Briar Motorsports Park and redevelop the property into what would eventually become known as New Hampshire Motor Speedway. Bear remained the owner of the 1.058 mile paved oval through 2007 before selling the track to Speedway Motorsports. And as we mentioned, that's where the Cup Series racing on Sunday. Tim Hitt, the first rocket chassis house car driver, died unexpectedly Friday afternoon at the age of 55 after suffering a heart attack while golfing with friends. Hitt drove the rocket chassis house car from 91 to 99. You familiar with Tim?
I am. Good racer.
Ray Everham gave some more insight into the upcoming SRX series, that superstar racing experience, the kind of the new IROC, I guess you could say. They're shooting for about 12 drivers or cars for every race. They're going to do half mile paved or dirt tracks, maybe a road course to keep the aero out of it. They don't want the whole big aero. You're not going to see Talladega or Daytona. Drivers will draw for their car / crew chief. The crew chief is going to be attached to the car, and then the drivers are going to draw for the car they get for that race. So it's kind of like waiting in line at the go-kart track and going like, oh man, I really want that red car. I want that red car. I hope nobody gets it.
And you got the green one.
Yes, and that's the slow one. So it's kind of going to be like that, which will be kind of cool. And then once they get paired up, they'll have 20 minutes of practice with their crew chief. So they get to know them real quick, I guess. I wonder how that work out, though, if you get paired up like the second, maybe you draw the same car for consecutive weeks, then maybe you have an advantage over everyone else because you've worked with that.
I don't know. I wonder what the chances are that we'll see them at like Eldora.
I'm thinking pretty good. Paul Tracy was announced as the latest driver to join that series with Tony Kanaan and Tony Stewart. So there's 3 of your 12 drivers so far.
So Tony's going to be driving in his own series.
Hello, All-Star Circuit of Champions.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, not a big deal. Must-see racing sprint car series officials have canceled the planned Indiana shootout scheduled for August 20th and 21st at the Indianapolis Speedrome. The decision comes in wake of COVID-19 restrictions announced by the Indianapolis mayor last Thursday, including the restriction of all sporting events in the area to 25% capacity. Must-see racing plans to open its 2020 season Friday and Saturday, August 7th and 8th, with a 2-day program at Golden Sands Speedway in Wisconsin. I didn't realize they hadn't started their season.
That race at the Speedrome, that was isn't that the one they were billing as winged late models versus winged sprints?
I don't know. I hadn't heard that.
I think it is.
What exactly is a winged late model? Is that like a sideboard wing?
I think they were going to qualify one against the other and maybe do some sort of a shootout. Not exactly certain what the format was. I looked at the payoff for the program, and I couldn't buy my fuel to Indy and back for what they were paying to win, so I opted out of that one.
Okay, then. Well, coming up, we have Ryan Weekman in his weekend weather pit stop, and you want to hear, he's got some good information for this weekend. Also, how many coming up a little bit later, chance to win a Big D's pizza. Actually, it's very shortly, not very much longer from now. So stick around for that. Upcoming NASCAR weekend at Dover International Speedway on August 21st through the 23rd will take place without fans amid growing concerns regarding the COVID-19 pandemic. The track is scheduled to host 6 races during that 3-day period, none of which will be seen in person by spectators after state officials chose not to approve the track's request to host a limited number of fans. I don't remember what track it was, but I saw something today. I probably should have looked a little closer, but these people rented cherry pickers.
Uh-huh.
and there was like 18 of them outside of a racetrack where they, weren't allowed to have fans, and they're all up in these cherry pickers. They're separated, so there's distance, and they're watching the race from the cherry pickers from outside the track. I thought that was kind of
like the treehouse at Butler and the people on the hill.
Sure, yes. We'll go with that. Three
You've
more.
Been there, haven't you?
I've been to Butler. I don't know about the treehouse, though.
Yeah, there's a treehouse off of Turn 2, off of the racetrack property, but
Okay.
it's still there. And then the hill across the street, people line that.
Well, they didn't the one last time I was there, but that was a few years ago, too. At least I didn't notice.
Yeah, you didn't notice.
3 more doubleheaders have been announced for the NTT IndyCar Series. As expected, September races at Portland International Raceway and WeatherTech Raceway Laguna Seca have been canceled to make up for the loss of those races. Laguna Seca was set to be a doubleheader. IndyCar has made the rounds at the Mid-Ohio Sports Car Course, Worldwide Technology Raceway at Gateway, and the Harvest Grand Prix. Yes, on the Indianapolis Motor Speedway Road Course doubleheader events. So a lot of doubleheaders in IndyCar racing there. One of the most successful engineers in NASCAR will join Ed Carpenter Racing at this year's 104th Indianapolis 500, scheduled on the 23rd. Cole Pern will work with Connor Daly's number 47 U.S. Air Force Chevrolet at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Pern will return to racing for the month of August, serving as the lead engineer for Daly.
Really?
I kid you not. No joke.
That's pretty impressive.
This is not fake news. Or it could be. I don't know. Whoa. Well, before we get to weekend racing events and our weekend weather pit stop with Ryan Weekman, how about we do our how many? Last week's how many was...
Who won last week, Scott?
Who do you think won last week?
That horrible.
Last week's how many was how many super modifieds would be at Sandusky on Saturday. And I've heard 2 different things, but according to the official results that I got from the ISMA website, there were 17. I heard there was 18, but there were 17. So we're going with 17. Ron picked 17. So you were right. You were dead on. Congratulations. Yeah. Okay. Our online winner, and you'll like this. Our online winner was Millstream Speedway Scott Warner. He picked 17.
All right.
And I believe he was there. I was talking to him on Sunday. He said he was there hanging out in the tower with those guys on, I think it was Saturday night, and was impressed with how they were scoring. I guess they had 2 different scoring systems, one for the super mods and one for the modifieds. So Scott Warner, guest 17 online, and he gets a Big D's pizza. Just has to get with D. Henry over there, Big D's. I really wish I had my leftovers and I didn't give them to you. Now I really want some pizza. Damn it. So this week's how many is how many ARCA Menards Series cars will be in competition tomorrow night, Friday night, at Toledo Speedway. And I haven't been paying attention to how many's been competing in the other races, so I haven't really looked. I didn't cheat.
Boy, oh boy, oh boy.
I know the numbers have been a little weak, and when they had the East Series race, I think it was like 14 or 15 cars, but that was just the East Series, not the ARCA Menards Series proper.
I'm thinking that, Scott, I'm going with 22.
22? I think that's a pretty good guess. And just because I'm more optimistic, I'm going to go with 23.
Yeah, okay.
Is Kathy around for a guess this week?
I think she's turning off the alarm system.
Okay. If you want to get in on the action and a chance to win a large pizza from Big D's Pizza, put in your guess, as the folks are now in our Facebook Live comments. If you're listening to us on iHeartRadio or somewhere else, Scott Warner guesses 17 again. No, I lost my train of thought there. Oh, if you want to participate, to go ahead and put your guess in the comments. You can do so right up until 8 o'clock Friday night. So if you're listening to us Friday afternoon or whatever, go ahead and put your... Actually, no, we should probably cut it off a little before then, because we'll say 6 o'clock. 6 o'clock on Friday night is the cutoff. And if somebody guesses the same number, whoever guessed it first gets credit for it, and only your first guess will count. So make it count.
Let's make it 4 o'clock, Scott.
4 o'clock.
People could sit there and count the haulers coming in. So,
all right, we'll go with 4 o'clock. Making the rules up as we go. That's how we do it here at the Hammer Down Racing Report.
That's it.
Racing this weekend, we mentioned Toledo Speedway, ARCA Menards Series, Menards.com 200, presented by SPXE Racing at 8 o'clock. That's when that race starts. You can catch it on MAV TV or BCSN locally. No spectators will be permitted at the track tomorrow night or Saturday night. Also in action tomorrow night, and as we mentioned earlier tonight, with some breaking news. Gotta do it again. Oh, it's at the end. No, it's muted. There it is. With the breaking news just announced shortly before airtime tonight that ARCA has announced they will not have spectators in the grandstands. However,
pit pass fees have been reduced, and fans are allowed to sign into the pits.
Yes, here we go. We're going to do this. So here's the official announcement from. Whoops, sorry, Ron. I just got rid of you. We'll bring you back in here. Nobody can hear you right now. There you are.
Can you blow it up a little bit?
That's what I was trying to do. There we go. So, in compliance with Ohio Governor Mike DeWine's mandate through the Seneca County Health Department of no spectators, ARCA Raceway Park will not be selling any general admission tickets until further notice starting Friday, July 31st. Pit passes will be available at the main ticket office and at the pit entrance for $25 for ages 11 and up. Kids 10 and under are free. $25 entry fee per team will also be in effect starting tomorrow night. The entry fee will be deducted from payoff at the end of the night. So the pit passes, I believe there was talk earlier in the comment section there that those pit prices have been dropped to $25.
A little bit.
Yeah. So, I mean, so if you want to go to the races, you got to get a pit pass, is basically what we're saying.
And I would recommend, no matter what track you're going to, check before you leave.
And wear a mask.
Please.
I know, it pains you to say that, doesn't it?
Scott, it allows us to do what we love. And you know how I feel about masks, but it is what it is.
It is what it is. Exactly. So it's Napa Auto Parts night tomorrow night at ARCA Raceway Park, and they will have the ARCA Fremont Championship Series once again for the 410s and the sprints, the 410s and the sprints, the 410s and the 305 sprints. Late models also in action. Gates open at 5, racing at 7:45. Saturday night, another no spectator event. Toledo Speedway. Night number 2 of the Twin 200s is the ARCA Menards Series, Menards 200 presented by Crosley Brands. Racing starts at 6 o'clock on Saturday, again on MAV TV and BCSN. No spectators at Toledo Speedway. Spectators, as of right now, will be allowed at our 2 Saturday night tracks in action. Oakshade Raceway with late model Sportsman Bombers, Compacts. Gates open at 4, racing at 7. General admission is $14 there. Again, they are operating per local health department with 50% capacity. So they got plenty of room to social distance there at Oakshade. And then Fremont Speedway, it's Pub 400 Family Fun Night featuring the ARCA Fremont Championship Series 410 sprints and 305 sprints. I believe 3,500 was the latest I've seen that the 410 sprint feature was paying to win. It was 3,000 when I put my prep together, but I thought I saw Dwayne post something earlier today that had gone up. And originally it's $1,000 to win for the 305s at Fremont, but that may have gone up too. I don't know. Dirt trucks also in action. Go out and cheer on Cory or Sean, whichever you prefer. Gates open at 4, racing at 7. General admission $15. Sandusky Speedway is off this weekend after their huge weekend last weekend. They'll be back on the following Saturday.
One of our former guests, Jamie Miller, sprint car racer, has been driving a truck, and he's been looking better every week too, Scott.
Has he now? How about we check
Yeah.
out that forecast for this weekend's racing?
Yeah.
Yeah. And when we did this, there was only, well, Attica was still having fans. So I guess pay attention to the Saturday night part. Because if you're watching on TV, well, I guess it would affect you if you're watching on TV. If it stops in the middle, then you have to come up with something else to do. I'm going to shut up. Here's Ryan Weekman.
Here is your weekend weather pit stop forecast. I'm First Alert meteorologist Ryan Weekman. Friday, Toledo Speedway in Attica. This is going to be a real gorgeous evening. I expect dry conditions, some sunshine early in the evening, and temperatures that'll be in the 70s for the most part for race time. Saturday gets a little more interesting. Most of the day likely dry. We've got late day races at Toledo, Oakshade, and Fremont. Likely most of them stay dry, but we're watching a slow-moving system that's going to come up the Ohio River Valley Saturday night into Sunday morning. Not out of the question, some rain could fall, especially down towards Fremont late in the evening for Saturday. We'll be watching it. Of course, have that First Alert weather app, and you'll get the latest updates at race time. For WTOL 11, I'm First Alert meteorologist Ryan Weekman.
So there you go. I think we'll be good. We'll get the races in.
Absolutely.
So our field correspondent, Matt Swander here, is saying Butler's back open this weekend. Last weekend they took off. I know they've been fighting health department issues up there. I don't know if they're racing. I think they're racing with fans.
I believe they have limited fans.
Okay. So there is some other tracks popping. There were a lot of tracks around Ohio. Sharon Speedway, Midvale, I think it was. There's a bunch of them coming out this week, and including, well, those tracks were saying they were basically shutting down until restrictions get lifted because of all the mandates coming down. So at least Attica is still racing, just without fans in the grandstand. It's like it's trying to. It's a moving target. You can never. It's hard to keep up on who's doing what and when and where. And we're trying to keep on top of it for you.
They're throwing some of these restrictions at you kind of last minute.
50% of
Butler complicates things.
Yeah.
Scott, before we go, I got to give a shout out to Steve Kester at Kester Mowing.
By the way, Steve, and don't forget, Steve, call Charlie. I guess Charlie left you a message. He wants you to do some landscaping. Charlie Crawl. Okay, sorry.
Now that you disrupted my train of thought. We had a water line leak, and Steve Kester Mowing came out, and it was a real challenge, but he took care of it. Very reasonable on the pricing, and just had a great time together. If you need anything done property-wise, give Steve a call.
One of these sheets, I have his number here. 419-466-3801. It's also going in the scroll at some point in time. Also, thanks to Ron Miller Race Cars. That guy with the patriotic.
That's me.
Shirt on. Yeah, go see him. He'll help you get parts for your car or fix your car or build a 911 truck.
We built that one. We can build more.
There you go. Big D's Pizza and Clyde. Mentioned Hammer Down Race Report. Save 10% off. Make sure to stop out to Oakshade Raceway Saturday night. Fastest meet to race. They do it every Saturday night. And so far, since racing has been allowed to start up, I guess it was the last weekend in May, we have not had a single rainout or anything. I probably just jinxed it, but
almost not really, not a drop of rain. We've done well.
Absolutely. Millstream Speedway, they're working on bringing racing back to the Findlay area. Still fighting those mandates and restrictions from the health departments. Hopefully I'm getting so tired of talking about pandemics and COVID-19. I mean, it is what it is. It's there. You can't deny it. And I just wish it would be. I wish we were over it. I wish we were past it. I wish it wasn't an issue anymore. It's just I have no patience, I guess. I guess we have to have patience. Good things come to those who wait.
It's just gone on way too long, Scott.
Yeah, and it doesn't seem to be getting better. Contact Freeze Frame Photos for all your racetrack photos, whether on the track or in Victory Lane. They bring their collection out with them wherever they go. They're at Oakshade Raceway every Saturday night. They're at Toledo quite a bit. Don't go out to Toledo tomorrow or Saturday because you're not going to be allowed to get in and look at the photos anyways, even if they were there. Not that I don't know. I wonder if Charlie is going to be there on Friday. We'll at least take pictures. It might bring him to Oakshade the following week. I don't know.
Yeah.
Also, Continental Service Auto Repair in Adrian, Michigan, 517-263-8573. Speaking of getting back to normal, Ron, I guess they're going to start opening up some offices again at iHeart in downtown starting on Monday. Not everybody's going back. I'm not sure if I'll be back in the office since I'm able to work from here with my little A-team guys back here. I don't know if you noticed them.
Yeah.
Got Howling Mad Murdoch and Faceman. A-team, excellent show, by the way. But next week is starting that process. I'm not sure about the studios and how that's going to work. I know they have a bunch of not syndicated, but sponsored programming that they do and have people.
Scott, we're almost getting comfortable with this deal. So,
well, except for we're relying on our guests' internet connections, and we don't have a phone system, which kind of I still want to get Gary Lindahl on one of these days. Announcer up there at Flat Rock and Toledo Speedway, as a matter of fact. He's technologically challenged too. Well, we all kind of are because none of this really works 100% all the time, but it seems to be working, I guess. But I would like to get back into the actual Ron Miller Studios, Studio A, because this is like Studio F.
Yeah.
Thanks to Dave Kemmer, our associate producer and our field correspondent. I'm adding a new field correspondent this week. Matt Swander and Doug Dock from Sandusky.
Oh,
Speedway.
yeah.
He was sending me some information. And really, Charlie is kind of a field correspondent too. Charlie Orns, Freeze Frame Photo. He sends me a bunch of stuff too. So actually,
we have a lot of great listeners.
We do. And actually, it was his daughter, Kristen, that sent me the Attica thing. It was the first I saw that right before we came on the air tonight. So, again, if you're planning on going to Attica Raceway tomorrow night, plan on getting a pit pass. $25. Price is reduced. It's just $10 more than general admission would have cost you. So, and social distance, wear a mask, bring your mask with you wherever you go this weekend. But support the local tracks. Get out there while you can because you never know.
Absolutely.
The season could be ending soon, or you could be like Lima and not even have a season. It's just, there's a lot of question marks every day.
When you go to a local track this weekend, make sure you take a mask with you, social distance where it's necessary, stay with your group, do everything, and hopefully we can keep racing all summer.
Absolutely. And yes, Jerry, I'll see you out there Saturday at Oakshade. Jerry Keyser, Lima Lang announcer. He's had nowhere to announce, so he's been coming out and playing announcer with me, helping me out at Oakshade, doing a very fine job. So cool. How about we get out of here?
Yep.
We've gone on.
Fine. It's time for dinner.
Okay. I'm not sure how our experiment went with the virtual car inspection, virtual truck inspection.
Well, it was the first one, Scott. Think back on our first show. We were not as spectacular as we are now.
And we're 141 in, and we're still not spectacular. We may have gone up like half a notch.
We're semi-spectacular.
I don't know about that. What was spectacular was your wheel coming off at the start of the feature on Saturday. That was pretty spectacular. Yeah, I know how happy you were about that. Did anybody get reamed yet?
Not my style.
Okay. Good.
It just won't happen again. We'll leave it at that.
Did you make somebody go stand in the corner?
Time out.
All right. We'll see you next week, 7 o'clock, Thursday night, Hammer Down Race Report Live. You can always check us out on Google, iTunes, iHeartRadio. We prefer iHeartRadio. That's the one to go to. Anything else? Follow us on Facebook. Like us on Facebook. We appreciate that. And Twitter. Oh, YouTube. We're on YouTube as well. This will be up on YouTube within probably an hour or so.
Yeah, if you want to watch our virtual tech inspection of Cory McCaughey's 911 truck.
Maybe we should have pre-recorded it, so we could have done something like this. Just play this out. Right? See, if it was pre-recorded, then... Can you hear me, Ron?
Yeah.
Okay, I wasn't sure if it muted my audio there.
I can hear you.
Okay. So there you go. There's Millstream Speedway again. But that video's somewhere on YouTube too. It's not on the Hammer Down Racing Report channel. It's on my other channel. Maybe I'll share that just so it's there. I'm going to shut up now. It's time to go. Go eat.
We'll see you, Scott.
All right. Whoa, that is not right.
What? We're not about to begin.
Nope, we're about to end. So, all right, we're out. Bye-bye.
Good night, all.
Train wreck is over. Nothing to see here. Go home.
You have been listening to the Hammer Down Racing Report from the Ron Miller Race Car Studio. Listen on demand on iHeartRadio.